Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. House Democrats have now filed articles of impeachment against Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The move is being led by Arizona Democrat Yasmin Ansari.
Well, Pete Hegseth has been an incompetent Secretary of Defense or War from the beginning. One of his very first impeachable offenses was the Signalgate scandal.
That was the scandal where Hegseth shared classified information about bombing plans on an unsecured chat platform. Last year, as the headlines noted, Pentagon report concludes Hegseth put troops in danger with Signal Chat.
That in and of itself should have been enough. But since then, we have seen double tap strikes on boats in the Caribbean. That is outright murder if you are a civilian. If you are a U.S. cabinet official, you could be prosecuted at The Hague for a crime like that. And then most recently, during this illegal war with Iran, he was responsible for a strike that hit a girls' school and killed over 160 children in the city of Midterm, Iran. So he is incompetent, he is unfit, and he should be removed immediately.
The 6 articles of impeachment charge Hegseth with reckless endangerment of U.S. service members, violations of the law of armed conflict, negligence, obstruction of congressional oversight, abuse of power, and conduct bringing disrepute on the U.S. Armed Forces. Lawmakers say that includes Hegseth's aggressive injection of Christian nationalism into the military at the expense of other religious views and faiths. And even in that effort, Hegseth has been reckless and sloppy. Headline, Pulp Fiction. Hegseth quotes fake Pulp Fiction Bible verse, compares Trump to Jesus.
They call it Caesar 25:17, which I think is meant to reflect Ezekiel 25:17.
Samuel Jackson's character, Jules, Ezekiel 25:17.
The path of the downed aviator is beset on all sides.
Jules, to the kid he's about to kill, the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides
by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
Jules, by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother.
Jules, and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
And you will know my call sign is Sandy 1 when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Jules, and you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
And amen.
Ezekiel 25:17 is actually a very brief passage and was expanded there by Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction and by Secretary Hegseth. Also, as Substacker Brian Kaler first reported, in this parable, the speaker delivering the prayer, Samuel Jackson's character, is the bad guy. The prayer is what Jackson's character Jules says before killing people he has been hired to kill. Emphasis on hired. There is no moral justification. Also, in the Pulp Fiction scene, Jackson's character Jules is murdering Brett, a hapless kid who had not attacked Jules, was no threat to Jules, and was not developing nuclear weapons. Later in the movie Pulp Fiction, Jackson's character Jules talks about the pre-killing prayer and says, I never gave much thought to what it meant. I just thought it was some cold-blooded shit say to a motherfucker before I popped a cap in his ass. The truth is, you're the weak and I'm the tyranny of evil men. But I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. As my friend Jonathan Larson wrote on his Substack, The News, it would be nice if Hegseth realized that he's the tyranny of evil men. It would be even better for Hegseth to say he's trying real hard to be the shepherd, but it would be fiction. And that takes us back to the effort to impeach Pete Hegseth. There's practically no chance the articles of impeachment will get a vote on the House floor or have a chance of passage while Republicans are in the majority. However, the Republican House majority keeps dwindling.
Tonight, Democrats are trying to build some momentum, gaining another seat in the House. NBC News is projecting that progressive Democrat Ana Lilia Mejia wins the New Jersey special election over Republican Joe Hathaway to fill Governor Mickey Sherrill's seat.
Mickey Sherrill was a moderate Democrat who vacated the seat to run for governor. Ana Lilia Mejia is an unabashed progressive, and Mejia far exceeded Sherrill's 2024 victory margins in the district. This is the 7th straight House special election that Democrats have won. The margins in each have been significant.
We are now talking about 7 special elections. And in every single one of them that we've had during the second Trump era, the Democratic candidates for the House have outrun the Kamala Harris baseline. You know, Florida won last year. I remember you and I were together. 23 points, 16 points in Florida, 6. Virginia 11, 17 points. Arizona 7, 17 points. Tennessee 7, 13 points. Georgia 14, 25 points. And while there are still votes to be counted here in New Jersey's 11th district, I will say at this point we're probably looking at an overperformance of at least 10 points when all the votes are said and done. So 7 special elections, and in every single one of them, the Democratic district for the House of Representatives has outperformed Kamala Harris's baseline by at least 10 points.
The numbers have caused political analysts to state that Democrats are headed towards a midterm election tsunami that will wipe out Republican control of the House and the Senate. Republican House leaders, including Jim Jordan, are facing questions like this.
I've seen estimates, I don't know if they're the most official, whatever, that Democrats could get something like 40 House seats in the midterms later this year. So could you just comment on that? What if that's the case? What's the plan? What do you think their plans are? This is coming into the timeline now that the markets have to think about it.
No, I mean, I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win because the left, every position they take is crazy. You know, I don't know if I said this on your show a few weeks ago, but I was doing some interview and I said, I think this election is really going to come down to a couple sentences. They're crazy, we're not.
But even if some voters think Democrats and Republicans are crazy, Republicans have the additional burden of being viewed as reckless and dangerous. That starts with Donald Trump, extends to his cabinet secretaries, and is weighing down congressional Republicans. Jim Jordan and other Republicans can engage in whatever wishful thinking they want about the midterms, but the fact is, Democrats are gearing up for impeachments, and their path to impeaching Donald Trump, Hegseth, and others, and forcing Senate trials is getting easier with each new midterm election poll. By the way, C-SPAN keeps proving it is a national treasure, and the Public Affairs Channel has become comedy gold in its summaries of Donald Trump.
C-SPAN, bringing you democracy unfiltered. President Trump spoke to reporters outside the Oval Office after having McDonald's delivered via the online food ordering service DoorDash. He then took questions from reporters on several topics, including the ongoing conflict with Iran and a recent Truth Social post depicting himself as Jesus, which he denies, saying he thought it depicted him as a doctor.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Jay Miller, who wrote, "They put the words Oval Office on the wall because Grandpa kept getting lost." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about Pete Hegseth now facing House articles of impeachment. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.